Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating young woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
I'm Heather Holmes, and I'm the founder of Publicity for Good, based in Nashville, Tennessee, where all the incredible music and country is. And at Publicity for Good, our heart and soul is helping amazing people and brands tell their story and get in the media. I am so passionate at showing people that you can run a business, have 60 plus employees, and be a mom too. Something you probably don't know about me is that I have 3 under 3. I have Rose, who's 3 years old, Benaya, who is 2 years old, Charles, who is 1 year old. And we did live full time in a 23-foot Airstream, which if you're in another country, you might know that as a caravan. And I lived full time in an Airstream with my husband while we were building the business. Now, you may wonder why does it even matter to tell your story or to get in the media? I want to take you back to my story and help you to see why PR matters and how it's going to help you leave a legacy. So I grew up in the Midwest, and I was a Girl Scout until I was 18. And I did sell the most amount of Girl Scout cookies. That's my heart, my spirit to give back, to make a difference, and be really competitive. I was adopted, though. When I was a baby, my birth mother gave me up for adoption. So I always had a huge love and passion for life and for people. And yes, being adopted, I always wondered what my roots were, but I was adopted into an incredible family that I felt so blessed that I was given what I was given, and I had 2 parents that loved me. Now, fast forward though, when I was in high school, my dad, which is my adopted father, the only father that I know, and the dad that I love dearly, unfortunately was diagnosed with lung cancer. And I remember I was in high school. I went on a trip. It was a history trip in Europe. We went to Belgium, England, and France. And I got home, and literally I got into the family room. My godmother was there. My mom was there. And my father literally told me that he was diagnosed with the final stage of lung cancer. And this was June, my senior year. Actually, it was June, my junior year of high school. And I was devastated. And my father was the type of man who was gruff on the outside, but on the inside, he had a heart of gold. He was a general contractor, so was very busy with his hands, putting up construction and painting. My uncle was also a very successful entrepreneur and owned, so many apartments at Ohio State University. And I saw them become entrepreneurs. My dad was the general contractor. My uncle was the entrepreneur, owned thousands of apartments at Ohio State. And my father was the father who was able to crack walnuts in his biceps. He was that strong. My family was Italian, so think of Italian, joke if you will, Italian mafia, just that kind of feel, but family comes first. So my father was diagnosed with the final stage of lung cancer, and I was a junior in high school, and I did not know what to do. I was beside myself. And then my senior year of high school, there was a dance and the fire alarm went off and I had a really bad concussion. I was hit in the head. I ended up getting really bad amnesia and I went through speech therapy. From there, my dad unfortunately passed away on Christmas, my senior year of high school. And I was stuck. I was sad. At the time, I wanted to be an art therapist. So a week after my father died, I actually went to volunteer at Children's Hospital in different places. And I spent a lot of time with other kids as well who were losing their parent. And I used art as a way to help the kids process the trauma. And art was something that I fell in love with, and it really became a healing mechanism. And for the longest time, I thought, since I was a Girl Scout, since I sold the most amount of cookies, my father died of lung cancer. For the Valentine's dance when I was in high school, I was on the court for Valentine's Day, which was incredible. But what was different is instead of physically voting for your king and queen for the dance, you had to raise money for nonprofits. And I raised so much money. I'm so thankful in honor of my father for the Lung Cancer Association. And I always thought that I was going to work for a nonprofit. I always thought I would do public policy. I always thought I would raise funds. Then when I was in college, I did this incredible intensive at Georgetown University. And at Georgetown University, I studied conscious capitalism. I worked for nonprofits, and I realized literally, and this might be a new idea or way of thinking, but it made me think, right? Like you can build a business, make a lot of money, and have a huge, huge, huge impact and help a lot of people and build a legacy. Fast forward, after I graduated from college, I interned at a PR agency, and literally I realized that I had the power of connecting with media and making people fall in love with your story. That I became obsessed with reaching people, getting people in the media, because I realized I could donate my time, I could make an impact, I could donate money. But if I could get one person or one nonprofit on one TV show, they could reach millions of people. So my mind shifted that the power and my reason and my why of getting here and being here is really getting people in the media. And now looking back, now that I have Publicity for Good and I have a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 1-year-old, and I've been in the media 700 plus times, to me, it's not only about reaching people and building a business, but it's legacy. So now in the future, when people use an AI tool to search for me, or our kids, in the future, Google me, they're able to see my story and my impact, which is incredible. Like getting people in the media, to me, it's about legacy. It's about inspiring people. And it's really about the hero's journey that comes from that. And I'd say the last thing, and a lot of times what I would say and how I want to inspire others is that literally it feels scary. You feel like you're not ready to be in the media. You feel like maybe you haven't lost enough weight, or you don't have the right outfit, or you don't have the right offer, or any of those things. But what I know to be true is the media needs your story. They don't need your perfection. And there are so many opportunities for you to impact more people, build a community, and all they want is your messy, true story. You don't need to have fancy offers, fancy funnels, or fancy websites. And on the flip side, what's incredible is I know sometimes as a business owner and someone wanting to make a difference, so many people feel like we're not really, you're always on your phone or you're always on social media. But when people start seeing you in the media or you're in your local paper or news, there's such a level of respect and understanding that you're actually making a difference.
Wow. Heather, just listening to you speak is like music to my ears. It's women like you that make me want to wake up every day and do what I do, using the power of our stories to inspire. So, what inspired you to believe in your story and other women's stories that they deserved a global media exposure?
Yeah. So I think it's a couple of different things. I was transformed. So I've been a publicist for 13 years. I started building my business from my mom's basement. I started doing pageants because I love nonprofits and I was Miss Ohio International. But I felt so stuck with delivering the product that when I started getting in the media, I was asked about my why and what I was doing, that I felt reconnected to my mission. Because so often we start our company, we forget why we started it. We're delivering the product and selling the product, that I feel like getting in the media and telling your story is such a sense of therapy, up leveling, confidence that comes from it, that from my own experience, I felt more connected to my purpose, right? And what was crazy, because I was building the business from my mom's basement, but it got me out. It got me telling my story and why, and that was fuel. And it also helped legitimize what I was doing. And that, yes, I lived in a market. My family always saw me on my cell phone and computer. How many of us have family members or kids that don't really know what we're doing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they see we're on our phone posting on social media. They don't get it. But when you're starting to get in things that people understand, the news and newspaper, it just helps solidify what you're doing. But I've always been an advocate for people and rallying around causes and things that I believe in, and people making a difference and getting people excited in a mission and or a purpose, right? Like, sometimes when it's in your bones, it's in your bones. Now, we can get stuck behind fear of like, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I haven't lost a baby weight, all those things that come with it. Like, there have been times where I've maybe shunned my light because I was fearful that, you know what I mean? Like, well, if you're building your business, if you're building your personal brand, are your clients going to think that you're not working on their business, right? Yes. But I don't know, like, in the day we like, and I feel like when you feel called to share your story and inspire others, you already know that you have that calling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like a fire. You can't stop thinking about it. You want to help people. Like, you typically have that download that you need to do something.
Yeah, you can't help it. It's there and you have to trust it. So what is the biggest lesson that you learned in launching your business as a young mom?
Yeah. So many lessons. So where I am today, building a company, a team of 60, scaling from 2 million onward, so much was done through the work, but visualizing. Meaning, when I used to work at the PR agency doing PR, I would go to these trade shows and I'd wear these stuffy suits and I'd wear these heels. And I dreamed one day I'm going to be able to wear yoga pants and t-shirts. I dreamed that I would get to take kids with me. I dreamed that I would be able to get to work from home and with people I actually like and projects I care about. And that oftentimes the smaller guy, the smaller company, the nonprofit, the person, heroes are overlooked. And that was really my passion.
Yes.
But this has been in the works. Like, I am 10 years in. I feel like I'm just getting started. And now the miracles are actually getting good. And now it's to a place where I'm like, I'm not going to fail. I only fail if I quit. But it is the compound effect. I don't know. We were having such good conversations. If you think business is like a good bottle of wine, and I think the longer you have been with it, the more people remember you, the more people come back to you, like, right? Like, I think the compound effect of time is a gift, because a lot of people are one-hit wonders. Or how many people do you know, just want to buy a Forbes feature and then be done, right? Where we want to work with the people who want to reach millions, want to impact, and really be world-class for their mission and impact.
I love it. Yeah. And the need for this exposure, this is really the stage, especially the internet, with the use of the internet, that your voice amplifies and goes really far. So, what is the most memorable media breakthrough that you've helped a client achieve?
So every single day we're watching the news, using trends, using newsjacking for media. So it's at every second, every moment job, and it's exciting. I feel like every morning is Christmas morning as a publicist, and we want you to feel that feeling. Another interview, another opportunity. It's everything from the female entrepreneur who scaled. So she dreamed of being in the media and positioning herself as a confidence coach.
Yes.
Over time, she increased her prices by 60%. Clients that were on the fence of working with her started reaching out because they saw her in the media. She showed up for every interview, though. Small, large, podcast, like everything, because she believed in her mission and she didn't know who was on the other end. But what was so cool is 6 months in, from all the publicity we did, Martha Stewart Googled an expert and then found her, and then Martha Stewart featured. And then 7 months in, the Today Show featured her.
It's just amazing.
And it's because she showed up and did the work. Every stage she viewed as impactful. She was never too big for any opportunity. And because of that energy and spirit and impact, like, I swear, those people that come from that place of service and love, that's when the big media can come in and will come in.
Yeah, that's really where the magic happens. So how do you and your husband manage the work-life synergy in your household?
Yeah, so good question. So we used to work mostly from home. We totally moved the family to a new city about 3 to 4 months ago in Nashville. We do work in the office together. His office is next to mine. We have what we call mom and dad roles. So imagine writing on a piece of paper, mom and dad. But mom and dad roles are not necessarily, this is the role that I do because I'm the mom, this is what dad does. It's more based on strengths and what we're really good at. Like, Austin is extremely good at logistics. If we go on a trip, I get stressed. I am not good at logistics, but I'm really good at calling people and making appointments. So based on our strengths, we own different components of it. Yes. And we have family tenets, family mission. We have family dinners as much as possible. Nice. We are intentional. We've always been intentional. We are starting now to talk about rites of passage. What do I mean by that? What do you do when your kid is 3? What do you do when your kid is 5? Like, do we need to have a birthday party every year? What I'm saying is planning and being intentional as a family about what we're going to do, instead of just doing things because it's what's expected.
Yeah. That's really nice. Now, tell us about the book that you've written and what inspired it.
I have a book. I need to publish it. It's written and I have the cover, but I really want to make PR more accessible. So teaching people what it means to get in the media, how to craft your media story, how to pitch yourself, and how to incorporate it into marketing. I mean, I've been doing this for 13 years. I just want to reach more people and have something that will provide so much value. So that's the why behind it.
That's just beautiful. Now, how do you balance transparency and professionalism in your storytelling approach?
Sure. So I would say I'm very transparent organically that if I'm stressed or any of those things, it's hard for you not to know. I know, like, from being in a business organization called Entrepreneurs Organization, I learned the Gestalt concept.
Oh, yes.
So I love to experience share. So what do I mean by that? It would mean me saying, from my experience of running a team of 60, what I know to be true is that when we started looking at every team member's personal, professional, and financial goals, connecting them to the company vision and having clear metrics, that is one of the key tactics that we did to help grow the organization versus me telling you what to do. So I love experience sharing from my experience. Of course, I'm hoping maybe it encourages you, but I don't like to tell people what to do. I just like to use the Gestalt theory and method to tell you from my experience what happened to me.
Okay, that's an interesting approach. Now, let's talk a little bit about your clients. What fear do your clients usually have when stepping into the media spotlight?
So, such a good question. A lot of our clients have fear about getting in the media. There's so many different things. They have fear that their story will get rejected. So that if they had someone else helping them or they worked with another publicist, maybe no media came from that. So there's definitely baggage or scars or fear that comes that maybe their story isn't good enough. That's totally a fear that we coach people through. Another fear is maybe they won't have enough time. They're already running a successful business. They have a team. The thought of adding something else to their calendar. I would say those are probably two of the biggest fears. Other fears I would just say holistically is people wondering or having the fear if I get in the media, how is it going to grow my business? Like, how do I know for sure if I'm on that TV segment that it's going to grow my business?
Okay. Wow. Challenging things. So what role does intentionality play in your media strategy work?
So intentionality is the whole strategic component of it. And that we need to know, number one, where have you been? What have you tried? Where are you trying to go? Are you wanting to be a best-selling author? Are you wanting to get on Good Morning America? Are you wanting more stages? We need to understand your end result and goal so then we can work backwards. And we need to be aligned that what you want is really what's best for you and that what you want really could potentially happen. If someone told you they wanted to do a TED Talk tomorrow and they don't have a talk written or they haven't been on a stage, I would assume that they would need to have a plan in place that was very intentional to help them get to their goal before just, if someone's like, I want to be a TED, I'm going to be, you do an intake call. Someone's like, hey, I need to have a TED Talk done in a week. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not transactional. It's very intentional. And I find that the people who have the most success in any partnership go all in And the more both parties are invested, the more, the better results happen.
I love that. Yeah, it is an investment of time and energy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've built a multi-million-dollar PR firm while raising 3 young children. What do you wish more women knew about doing both well?
There's a couple things, and then this is crazy. I had this epiphany yesterday. I took the kids to the academy in the morning and picked them up at night, and this is dumb, but I literally had the epiphany. I think in the past, I typically work-ish 7:30 to 5. That's not a horrible day. It's really not, right? And when you love what you do, it's incredible. But I had this epiphany that it's not about, and I think in the past, I used to have this badge of honor of how many hours I worked. My mindset now is just getting the right things done. But sometimes you have to pivot your life and make pivots for where you want your family to go or life to go. Meaning, all my babies I've had at home, and I feel blessed, and now all my babies I'll have at home. Our dream and vision is to have 1,000 acres, build a commune, have our family, just as many people as possible gardening. That's what we want. In North Carolina, we had 22 acres and we lived on a homestead. We realized living where we were, although we loved it and we loved the mountains, was not in alignment with where we needed to be to get to the next level for a family.
Yeah.
So we moved to Nashville, opened an office, are living in a neighborhood, which we're renting a house. We're 7 minutes from the office. Our vision, when we buy an office in a year or two, is to have a whole center for all of our employees to bring their kids. So we can be with our kids and work. Like, that's what we want. We love being with our kids. But in this season right now, my kids are at a Christian academy, and you know what? They're really liking it, and it's okay. And I don't have to feel guilty in that. It's the season that we are all in as a family right now that's going to help where we are right now. So it doesn't have to be black and white. Sometimes you have to pivot and put one thing on hold.
Yeah.
To then
get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah. Because sometimes things have to pause, or you have to make short-term sacrifices when you're doing bigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. And it's a very realistic way of looking at life, because a lot of times people get stuck. They don't know how to move forward. They can't even see the wood from the trees. But just being realistic about it also helps. I absolutely love that. Now I'm going to ask you my last 2 questions, which are a bit of a thought experiment.
Yeah.
And the first, I'm going to teleport you into the past and ask you to give 3 nuggets of wisdom. What would you have wanted somebody to have told you when you started this journey?
My 3 nuggets of wisdom that I would have wanted to know as younger Heather would be, it's going to be hard, but as long as you show up, do the work, are intentional, and pray a lot, something good or better is going to happen. Number 2 is that you have to follow your intuition. And when you're in momentum, or you get that podcast interview or TV interview, or you get that new client, it's so easy to celebrate. But I find that when we hit momentum, we have to keep in the stride of momentum and go deeper and get more reps in. So when you close that deal, reach out to more people. When you do that TV segment, pitch more producers. And the third one is that you can have a family and you can love your husband and build $1 million+ company and have a bunch of kids and create your own path. And it's going to be a good life. You don't have to choose one or the other. Things will happen as you need it, and the right people will come to help you, but you can't do it alone. Like, we're now a full-time team of 60. My husband runs a business with me. We have support with the kids. And the biggest thing is it takes a village when you're building an impact, when you're raising a family, we're not going to be good at everything. And years ago, I used to be like, I have to teach the kids how to cook. I have to be good at making sourdough. That's not mean it's okay. In the future, the kids have AI, there's YouTube. And if I'm just the mom who's really good with people and such a good hugger and nurturer, and I'm going to build my kids a badass life and give back, like, that is okay.
I love it. Last question is futuristic. And we're going to go and meet the 90-year-old you. And she's sitting in her rocking chair, surrounded by her children, her grandchildren, whoever is with you at the end.
Yeah.
If you could go and have a conversation with this wise woman who's led you up until this point, what will you say to her when you finally meet her?
You are the exact spitting image of who God wanted you to be. You love your family, love your kids. You are there for anyone on your team or your family when they need you. And you have set your family up, your team up, your clients up for such a successful life. And you have impacted so many people's lives.
Absolutely love it. Heather, thank you so much for coming online and sharing with our community today. Like I said, it's women like you that make me want to wake up and do what I do every day. It is such an inspiration to have met you and be able to share you with our audience today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Her Story Circle is not just a podcast. We're a social impact movement that brings you the stories and voices of women from all over the world. We share our stories to uplift you, to inspire you, to energize you, but most importantly, to take you from where you are now to where you're trying to go. So if you are looking for a company that can help you get that publicity, get your voice out in a bigger way, I've got Heather's website at the bottom of the screen, publicityforgood.com. Reach out. Don't try and do it the hard way. There's professionals who can make it smart and easy for you to get the publicity that you need. I'll be back again tomorrow, everybody, with yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Heather, thanks again for the interview. Don't go away. Bye for now, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.
Can I take your picture real quick so I can tag you on LinkedIn?